Oh, in your experience of spiritual life, you will find there are days when you don't do your normal routine, you don't do your meditation, your exercises, your prayer, your eating the right diet, doing your recording, writing what you're thankful for. God has something else for that day. And I might point out that in large measure God has something else for your eternity too. That was the way. You don't stay in your car when you've arrived at your destination. You get out. You stop driving. Because you've arrived. In some sense, it's a bit like getting out of your car and getting on the train. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'd forgotten. I thought I had an appointment that might have been in the morning. It's not, thank goodness. It's later on. Where was I? Yes, because I said get on the train and I'm taking someone to the station at 1:30 and it's only 10:30 now. So you get out of the car, you've arrived. Not only that, but you don't just sit on the platform for the next infinity of time. You get on the train. And I can hear the train now. Did you hear that? It's not actually a passenger train. It's almost certainly a goods train. But interesting, isn't it? Synchronicity, if you like. You get on the train and it's God who drives the train. My friend Paul, who was a train driver all his life, he's now a Methodist minister. Retired, of course. Well, he's a retired minister. If you know what I mean, he's retired as a minister. And he's got 2 half-time. I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but anyway, you get on the train, and the train driver does the train driving, and the track takes you all distances you wouldn't want it to have driven. And on the train, you can just chat to other people, and I do. I amaze them. When I travelled from New York in the 70s down to Washington, I chatted to everyone. Americans are defensive. You know, the stranger, danger, risky society it was, especially in the early 70s. And when they realised I was an Englishman because of my accent, oh, well, English talk, that's all right, he's safe. You know, he's safe because he's not one of us, he's an Englishman. So it's lovely. Really nice talks. I mean, I can't remember a word of it now, but it was good. I mean, it's decades ago, wasn't it? Yeah. You can just enjoy the journey. You don't have to slavishly keep up all these routines, you know. You needed that in the physical life on earth before you knew God. You don't need it now. God is our life. We are in His thoughts. We are part of His thoughts. He's beyond as well as in all of creation. And us too. He is life. He thinks life and it is so. He speaks and the whole of creation comes into existence. That's the sort of ideal ruler, isn't it? He simply gives the command and all the minions rush to do what he says. We're not one of the minions, we're one of the kids. We're the children of heaven. You don't pay rent when you're one of the children. It's your home. Everything is for you by the grace and goodness love you, Dad. Now, you don't have to, but would you like to help me with the garden? Oh, yes. Shall I empty the cuttings on the dump? You do the mowing. Right. Okay. Bless you. Thank you, Dad. It's not then that you've earned your reward. It's that you just no longer need the spiritual practices that bring you your reward when He's given it to you. So if you've had a wonderful spiritual time instead of doing your usual practices, well, the practices were only to achieve wonderful spiritual times. And He gave it to you freely, without any effort of yours. If you now wish to contribute to its continuance, you may. But even if you don't, you think He's going to stop loving you? No, of course not. Thank you, Dad. You see, in heaven, and you better get used to it, you do what you want to do. Because you have been purified of wanting to do anything that would bring harm. So anything now that you see that you want to do is because it brings good. That's the ideal. Now you may be new on the block. You may be a junior here. And there's one or two things that you might be better leaving behind. And after all, if you're listening to this recording, you're probably still in this world. And if you are, you probably do have a few things that you need to put right. So the practices, whether it's good diet, good exercise, or good thinking, like whatsoever is good and lovely, think on these things, are still your great blessing, not to be ignored. Okay. Thank you, Dad.